I've been out looking at places for some love, but everywhere I look, it points me back to you. Don't you say we got too crazy? A little mischief makes.
So here we have the stainless steel mesh. We've pulled measurements from the CAD model to figure out exactly how long to cut it. This stainless steel mesh will be used to sandwich the actual filter material.
One thing on my mind. In those times you call me baby.
We've cut grooves in each side of the intake bodies. This will allow us to retain the filter material.
Remember those eyes, they spark like the stars. I look into them and they spell out a different.
The two halves of the intakes are held together with two M6 screws in the center. Here we've got a set screw with a plastic tip so that we don't mar the threads on the carburetor. Here I'm using an O-ring to create a seal between the intake and the carburetor. Because this thread's on and we don't have control over the thread orientation, but we need to orient the intake itself, the O-ring ensures that's sealed and gives us a little bit of variation. Then we lock it into place using the set screw against the threads. To remove the spigot, I'm just using a standard pipe wrench. You just want to make sure that you don't hit the fins of the jugs against the pipe wrench. Now we can install the adapters for the Delorto carburetors.
Was it all fake love?
So when installing the exhaust nuts, you want to make sure that you apply some anti-seize to the threads. These are known for seizing to the cylinder heads. A purpose-built wrench is used to tighten or remove these exhaust nuts. We will be using the quiet core mufflers by Cone Engineering. These have a baffling inside of them that kind of take the edge off, makes it a bit quieter. They're made of stainless steel and they'll bolt to original headers, or in this case aftermarket headers. To start, you want to leave these bolts loose so that you have adjustment for when you mount it to the exhaust hanger. It's a good idea to wipe down the exhaust with some rubbing alcohol to remove any fingerprints or oils after working on it. Otherwise, as soon as the exhaust gets hot, those will get burned in. Hello. So I'm pretty pleased with how the intake turned out. I was able to get the logo oriented like I wanted, get all the hardware, and it's solidly mounted. After working on this for a bit, I started to get curious to see what a velocity might look like. I might try it if I have the time. I'm going to try and put a filter in the inside of it so that it's hidden. Not necessarily hidden, but just set back from the end of the bell. I'd want to make it the same kind of filter material that we used on this one, but instead have just a flat filter recessed into the velocity. There's a couple things that we're going to try and figure out before next week. Picked up a few different throttle assemblies we're going to try. One of them's black and bigger, and the other one's a chrome finish. I'm leaning towards the bigger one because it has two throttle cables straight out of it so that you don't have to run the splitter, which will make it a lot easier to set up. Because sometimes with those splitters it can be a pain to get the cable lengths right. So if you have two, it should be a lot easier. The only issue with the bigger one is that it is significantly bigger and I need to be sure that I can reach around to the buttons. On this build we're going to be using some new push buttons by Moto Gadget, and these are pretty cool because you can remove the push button assembly right out of the face of the switch. So you would mount the switch and then remove the buttons themselves, wire them up, and then you can reattach them back into the housing. I think it's going to make things a lot easier. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and as always, the products used are listed in the links below.